Okay. Now I have to replace everything that is a wood chest with these requester chests. Dear me. Or it's like, I'm using this for temporary storage. No, you aren't. You're figuring something else out, son. Okay, but we're doing real iron now. Good. Alright, and then this, I need to boost this up to 72 megawatts. So I've added about 10 that solar can handle. So there's an amount of, I think I can survive, that goes into this, and then there's the reality of like, no, really, you've got to keep this thing running until it's run its course. Alright, we got tank ammo, we got plastic. We got another 10 megawatts worth of power that's ready to go, and be real somewhere. The question is where, right? And then in the back corner we have this operation going, where once I get all of the centrifuges done, you know, it's good to go. Once I get all the centrifuges done. And then yeah, this is seriously my game plan for this run. Like, this is something where it's like, are you really doing that, Coffee? And it's like, yeah, better believe I am. Now, there used to be a box of steel around here, which I'm gradually been using up. And the thing to do is to have an assembler to make those. And put them into some kind of... them into a passive provider. Because if I get lucky, I get lucky. But the only way I'm gonna gamble is by being borderline a lazy man runner. And it's like, okay, now that this is starting to get back on track, this entire petrol system can begin to be running, and I'll have one of the 10 things on my checklist moving towards the petrol plant it needs to, these are also all going to be ticking down, so if I can get those to work, I wanna. And then for what these are, it's like, yeah, you know, if I have any... If I have any of these, I do actually want to be like, well... Rare, uncommon, yes, no? Because I'll take those, set those up in my equipment grid, with a bunch of solar panels, and then the next time I drive around the biters, you know, make a statement. Then this, alright. All accidents aside, this is starting to get used up. And we've got big power going over here, so it can still work. Right? That's the main thing. Like, do we have a workaround in case so I don't knock out my power grids? Thank you. The answer is, in fact, yeah, I do. Alright. I've got space science going, and I've got science going. What's going slow here, and why? And right now, this is going slow because of the jam up. But it's saying it could do a quarter per hour, so... I want to go with that. Okay. Then I'm gonna have to pause for a second. It's probably for the best, considering all that's happened. I'll try and review what I got done and what I didn't. But wow, that was just rough. QGC 9. Oh. Lose 2 hours. Well, that's not true. Because Foundation got done, the uranium centrifuges are done, crude oil's not, but space platform and science is online, and I'm reading off of a checklist right now. So really, you know, I had a bunch of things on here. The discharge defenses were one of those things before I went out again, but I have to just be like, no, read down your checklist, scratch off the 3 things you actually did while you corrected that error, and just be glad that your operation didn't grind to a halt completely. Alright, same day. Same time. Got up. Did a look at where I'm at. The main thing that I need to do is just get back on this, because those three things are actually pretty big. It's something where you can say, am I sad? Yep. Does it matter in the grand scheme of things? Honestly, my timing's actually pretty good on this run. And what this is going to do is it's going to add extra of these fuel bricks. Virtually. I mean, it's just a shame because this line can only be so long before it's got to move. Here's what I might do about that. I'm gonna get it like this, and then I'm gonna flip this line over here. So that it's always fueling or always cracking, but never really both. And all good to go. Yep. So this is just going to run for a while. That's functional, that's functional. It cannot actually put into that unit there. That's going to be fun to fix. Well, works fine the other way. That's the important thing. And then, yeah, I can do 5 more of those, so that's a deal where I want to say, why not do that? And it's like, well, because you've got business elsewhere, so since that oil refinery's up here, I know I can put trains safely, and safely is a relative term, right? But I know I can put trains going in here, in this area and these voids. I also know I really need landfill to go off. Really badly. What's going to happen is I'm going to hit Control Shift here. And just sort of smother that I need landfill problem in Dunvers. Move that bot network over there. And yeah, that'll get it done. So that'll filter all the normal stuff down. And the thing about a landfill operation is that once I get this going 10 feet, this is 75 stones per second, even on this, like, goofy equipment. So technically, I need one of these stones. Like, I just need one box. Really, just only one. This is fine. And that'll be that entire stone patch going away for that purpose. And then on this one, I do have a specific plan for it, and that's to just run... I want to run a specific style of line down this way, because there's so many things that are local, and it is like 200 meters and not 300 meters. So it's like, could I run a giant assembly line onto trains like this, you know, maximum confusion and chaos? It's like, yeah, you know, I could. Or I could just run a belt. And then have that be filtered at the quality workstation over here. And I know it's like, seriously? It's like, that's your plan. That's your brilliant game plan here. That's like, yeah, seriously, that's the brilliant game plan, because as rough as everything else is, that assembly line doesn't actually have to be that long. Like, it doesn't have to be this huge problem, right? Like, it's always going to be bad to deal with it, but I don't have to plan on trains going south until I have the logistics to actually do that. And that's gonna happen after Gleba, I believe. And then just like move this over so that it hops underneath the weird lake. Maybe it'll happen after Vulcanus. I don't know where I'm going. Okay, that's gonna jam up ish? No, not really. Then I have 280 of those, so I can put in furnaces where I need. So I can actually have a real stone line and put that onto rails and do all the weird quality stuff over there and filter it out from, well, I should say not stone, but like an actual brick factory, right? Then I can use that little baby one for concrete. Gotta remember to get my tank ready. 2. It's like, alright, so that's gonna happen. And then the question is, you know, how do I want to do this crude? Because that's going to end up being a pipeline into here. I can do all my stuff centrally because there's so much coal around up here. And then a little bit more if I really need it. But I'm going to try and leave those guys alone because of plans. But there is a significant amount of coal that I can get to, right? I go coal. Like, yeah, there's 4 mil right there. And I've got these little patches that'll see me through. The big issue then is red circuits. And keeping up with power. Always an issue. Alright, that'll connect all of the power there. But once I get that landfill station, I can begin to do the traditional solar cheese. Where, you know, we be environmentally unholy and do profane things. Right, and then I'm going to continue to advance these power grids down a little bit at a time. Okay, so is that enough to replace all of these with functional grid? And that will be enough to do it, actually, there. Feeling positive about that section at the very least. Then I still need those 6 crudes, and I need to do something about steel down here. Because as you can see, just not making enough red circuits. And it's due to what's ultimately an iron shortage, so... Six. Every time I see one of those, we upgrade the uranium mine. You know, just in case.